So, answering the question, how do we ask for feedback on writing, has got me thinking about the student, the writer, the person asking for feedback.
So many people view writing as being hard, but it really doesn't have to be. I often think that the hardest part about writing is simply not knowing where to start. But usually the first step to writing is having a conversation to narrow your focus, grasp the big ideas, and figure out what you do and don't understand.
Because we value writing and speaking as a communication skill in the CWE, we take a discussion-based approach towards tutoring. That means that you can bring in your paper and have an honest heart-to-heart with your tutor before you put pen to paper.
Writing is a conversation and a process. It takes time and is not going to be perfect right away. So talking through our writing before we write actually allows us to gain new perspectives and further develop our own thoughts and ideas, making it easier to write later.
As the owner and the agent of this writing you're bringing in, you can personalize and customize any of the advice that's being given to you. Since this process is conversation-based, it's important to remember that it's a creative give and take environment between the tutor and the tutee. Any recommendations the tutor may have for your writing are totally and completely up to you. So take what you want, take any advice that you can use it to your advantage. You don't have to take their advice verbatim either. So any recommendations, for example, like rephrasing a thesis statement, you don't have to take word for word. I think a huge part of the tutoring process is remembering that the paper is yours, the students, the writers, and you can and should use your voice.
When looking for help with your writing, I think it is often helpful to simply talk about what you do and don't understand. Maybe the assignment guidelines seem confusing, or the topic you were assigned just doesn't make sense. The CWE can help.
Oftentimes, when students come into the CWE, they don't necessarily know how to describe the problem they're having with their paper. They might say, the organization feels off, or I need a better word for this, or something like that, or maybe it just doesn't flow well, it feels weird and I can't tell what's wrong. It can be disheartening not to necessarily understand the assignment prompt when you first start out. However, that's why we're here. We are more than happy to lend you a hand with any trouble you might be experiencing.
Writing is a personal, creative, and sometimes difficult process. I know this better than anyone. Talking about your writing is a useful way to gain insight, and asking for feedback can be really difficult or vulnerable. At the Center of Writing Excellence, we are here to help you talk things over and become more confident in your abilities and your vision for your writing.
Typically, we read through a paper paragraph by paragraph, often stopping at the sentence level when something feels like it might need revision.
The CWE, we can talk about the technical aspects such as MLA citations and grammar rules, but we can also talk about the creative aspects of writing, such as concepts and ideas. So maybe you understand how to write a summary, but you don't understand the article you're summarizing.
When making an appointment at the CWE, you can choose to work with a tutor who has specific interests and expertise in the subject that you're having trouble with. While it might seem like a lot of us are English majors, the thing that ties us together is wanting to help students use their writing as a lifelong communication skill.
We can ask questions like, what's the big idea, who's the audience, or why does this matter? And through conversations like these, you may discover that you know more than you realize.
In that same vein, I would like to remind students that you're the expert. Often I think students have an approach to their writing that they're not good at it or they're inherently bad at it. But you know the content, you know the assignment, and your vision for your writing better than the tutor does. This is important as you, the student, navigates asking for feedback, receiving feedback, and gaining from that feedback.
Whether you need a hand in parsing a difficult assignment prompt or figuring out the right words to describe your writing woes, the CWE is here to help you. We're here for anyone at any stage in any subject. We're looking forward to working with you this fall.